Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Nicole and today is New Year's. New Year's Eve, not New Year's Day. But by the time you see this, we'll be past New Year's Day. So anyway, welcome to 2024. At the end of tonight though, I am done cooking for 2023. Haha. Okay, so tonight's meal all started because of a trip to Walmart. Truthfully, my daughter wanted party things, so therefore we went to Walmart. She also said she wanted chicken for dinner. So we are making chicken Bellagio. We are making cheesecake knockoff bread. We are making Orzo pasta. It's a Greek pasta that Pioneer Woman made here recently on, well, not here recently because we've been watching back through all of our episodes. Anyway, and finally, cheesecake, because I felt like I owed her cheesecake since yesterday we got a free dessert when we went out to lunch and she wanted cheesecake and we didn't get cheesecake. So anyway, if that sounds good to you, why don't you stick with us and Happy New Year!
My mother-in-law gave me the recipe for this cheesecake and I have always had really good luck with it. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is have 2/3 of a cup of melted butter. Now, each stick to get 1/3 of a cup is 5 1/3 tablespoons. So that's why I measured it out the way I did. Then we need to measure out 2 cups of Graham Cracker Crumbs. Then you want to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and of course the melted butter once it gets melted. Mix that together and then we're going to pour it into our prepared springform pan. Now, while I'm waiting for my butter to melt, I decided to go ahead and prepare the springform. Look at my scissors, aren't those cool? They come apart, which makes it very, very easy to clean them. Anyway, go ahead and cut out a piece of parchment paper. I used a little non-stick spray just to hold the parchment paper to the bottom, and then go ahead and put the springform part on. Now that my butter is melted, we're going to mix the butter in. I did go ahead and spray the sides of my springform and then put your graham cracker mix in there and use a measuring cup, that's a 1/4 cup in my hand, to help press it down and against the sides. Another thing that I like to do is wrap the outside of it with aluminum foil just to help water out when it's in its water bath cooking. Now it is time to make the filling. You are going to start with 3 packages of softened cream cheese. Mine wasn't totally room temperature, but it was good enough. To that, you're gonna add 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Did anybody else's sugar get totally used up during Christmas? Anyway, 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk, plus some vanilla. Use your mixer and go ahead and cream that all together. We're not done adding ingredients, but we just wanted to get a start. Now we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream plus a pinch of salt. Go ahead and mix that together. It's okay if there are still chunks of the cream cheese. They will melt out when it bakes, but do not over mix trying to get rid of those. It is good practice to go ahead and scrape down the sides of your bowl, make sure everything gets mixed in, and then go ahead and pour it into your prepared cheesecake crust. Now we're going to cook this in a 350-degree preheated oven. We're creating a water bath here, and as you saw, I put some aluminum foil in there. I've stuck my pan to the bottom of this pan before. I also used my Instant tea kettle to warm my water up so that when I put it in, it was boiling. After it has baked for about 50 minutes to an hour, want it to jiggle kind of like Jell-O. Then you're going to let it cool on the countertop for about 40 minutes and then stick it in the for 4 hours. Now we're gonna make knockoff Cheesecake Factory brown bread. The first thing you wanna do is add some lukewarm water, about 110 degrees or so, to a bowl. To that, you're going to add some honey and some molasses and then stir it together so that all of it dissolves and it becomes one. Then, in a large bowl on your mixer, we're going to add bread flour and whole wheat flour, along with some salt, sugar, cocoa powder, and yeast. I stir my yeast in on one side and my salt in on the other because salt can and will kill yeast if you are not careful. This was instant yeast, so therefore it does not have to sit in a water mixture for 5 minutes to activate. Go ahead and stir that to combine and then add your honey mixture until it becomes a dough. Then we're going to add in our butter, which makes this an enriched dough, which gives it a richer flavor, softer and more billowy texture. And we're gonna let the mixer do the kneading for us for about 8 to 10 minutes. The dough is ready when the dough sticks to the bottom of the mixer, but it is tacky and smooth to the touch, but it does not stick to your fingers. We're going to go ahead and then put some oil in the bottom of our bowl, and we're going to let this proof for 1 to 2 hours. We're going to lightly flour our surface, deflate our dough, and then go ahead and cut our dough into 4 even pieces. Working with 1 piece of dough at a time, lightly flour your rolling pin and go ahead and put it into a rectangular shape. Then you are going to roll that up, kind of like you do cinnamon rolls, into a cylinder, pinching the ends close, and then you are going to put them onto your cooking sheet. Repeat with the 3 remaining pieces of dough. Leave space between them as they will go ahead and puff up. Then we're going to put some oats on the top of them, cover them loosely with plastic, and let them rise again for another 40 minutes until they look puffy and light. Once they have risen, then it's time to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and place them in. You're going to bake them for about 30 to 35 minutes, and then you want to let them sit and cool for 15 minutes before you cut into them, which is really hard.
Okay, we're gonna try this. This is like Cheesecake Factory. I'll burn a little bit. That piece is burnt. While I do not believe that is it, it's pretty darn good.
To go with our chicken, we're actually going to have Orzo Greek pasta. So go ahead and cook the Orzo, and yes, my pot is totally overkill. We're cooking the Orzo, blame Christmas. The Orzo is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and prep all the other ingredients. You want to cut either the grape or cherry tomatoes that you're using in half. You want about 1 cup. There is a hack where you use 2 lids and put them in there and just slice between the 2 lids, but I couldn't find 2 lids. Now let's make our dressing. In a jar, you want to add about 1/4 cup of olive oil. You want a whole lemon, but I didn't have one, so I cheated. Then you want to add a clove of garlic and salt and pepper to taste. And shake, 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 shake your booty. Oh, I mean, shake the jar. Locate your kalamata olives and cut them in half too. You want about 1 cup. And I didn't measure, I just kind of guessed. Then you want 1 cup of crumbled feta. I went ahead and used my block here and crumbled it myself. A lot of times it gives you a better texture. Finally, you want about 1/2 of a red onion diced. Once your Orzo is cooked, go ahead and dump it into a bowl and then top it with all your goodies that you have prepped. Go ahead and stir them together, top it with your salad dressing, and I kind of served mine lukewarm. I just stuck it in the microwave until I was ready to serve. You can serve it warm, cold, or room temperature. Go ahead and taste it for seasonings and apparently dance because yum! Finally, let's talk about chicken Bellagio. First thing you want to do is go ahead and slice up your chicken. Now we cut these really thin and had exceptionally good luck. Don't cut yourself, but cut them as thin as you can and it keeps them moist, juicy, tender, all of the above. you're gonna set up a 3-bowl breading station. Why my husband had his arm in front of the camera is beyond me. 1 bowl is going to be flour, 1 is going to be eggs, and 1 is going to be breadcrumbs. I used Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, so I didn't have to season them. Always salt and pepper your breading station, plus your chicken. Every piece needs to be seasoned, and it does really well. I did not add seasoning to my breadcrumbs because they were already seasoned. Before we cooked the chicken, I went ahead and made the Parmesan cream sauce. The first thing you want to do is add 4 tablespoons of butter and melt that. And to that, you're going to add 4 tablespoons of flour. We're making a roux. To that, you want to add 1 cup of heavy cream and cook it until it thickens. Then we're going to add in 6 ounces of shaved Parmesan. I did not actually use the full 6 ounces of Parmesan, used to taste. And then taste with salt and pepper. Remember that Parmesan is very salty, so don't go overboard. And I wound up having to thin my mixture out because it got a little too thick. The other thing you want to do is go ahead and make the basil oil. So here we are blanching about 1 cup of basil leaves. I brought my water in from my instant tea kettle just so it would be boiling faster. Go ahead and strain it out, like get all the water off of it, put it into a food processor with about 1/3 of a cup of oil and blend it up. I did that. My husband did a test piece of chicken. So basically he fried the chicken up with the breading, put some of the Parmesan cream sauce on it, and then put the basil oil, and we had to test.
Any good?
We're hot.
Maybe I'll wait a minute.
Okay. You ready?
Yum.
Say ice.
Here you go. I left you another piece.
Say ice while you wait.
I won't turn it down.
Okay, now let's bread all the chicken. First thing you want to do is place it in flour, and then you coat it in the egg. Make sure you get all the egg drip off of it, and then put it into your seasoned breadcrumbs, and then place it over on the stove in a little bit of olive oil and cook it until the chicken is thoroughly cooked. Then continue on with the next piece. I'll be back shortly. Eventually, I'll be done, right? Tell me I will be, please. If you wind up needing more flour, egg, or breadcrumbs, don't worry, just add them. Just remember to add the seasonings to them. The cheesecake was supposed to set in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. We made it about 3, so the center of it didn't totally set up. Overnight is best, but I made it that day. And this first piece is not real pretty, but hey, it tasted amazing. Eat like that or top with your favorite toppings and enjoy, because yum!